name is Evan Bush, and this is my leadership video. Alright, before I get into my PowerPoint here, I'd just like to just state that I only answer the questions I felt were most necessary for my application, which ones I felt most strongly about. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So leadership, what does it personally mean to me? So first of all, leadership, I've been involved with this band program for roughly 8 years due to my brother. So I know how important the leadership of the band program is and how much it influences it and how much it lifts it up for that matter. So being on leadership personally means that I'm able to do whatever Mr. Goldstein, Mr. Jones, Mr. Mosier, anybody up down to a freshman wants for me to do, and I'll be able to do that for them. This includes whatever it takes for the betterment of the band, and meaning showing up to practice 20 minutes early to help somebody out with a tricky part they're having in a song for the marching show, running to and fro the band room several times during band camp in the morning, and yelling at your best friend despite them being your best friend for something that they're doing wrong. And all three of these examples I've done over my past 2 years being on leadership. So I know some of the not hardships, but some of the sacrifices it takes to be a leader. So getting more further in depth, some expectations of myself in the next year with leadership. I definitely see myself making a lot of sacrifices next year being on leadership, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Basically, I'm going to make these sacrifices in order to achieve these different goals. To be successful, successfully control my section and making them a real contender for section of the year next year. Next year, if I do get a section leader, I will whip them into shape, for lack of better terms. I'll definitely make them a lot better than they were this year. Another one is I'm going to grow as an individual and a leader to ultimately better the SRHS band program for the next year, and to leave the SRHS marching sharks better than we found it 4 years ago. Leave things better than you found them. Something else I learned in band. So this also brings me to my next point. Leadership, is it a journey or a destination? So basically, I feel that leadership is a journey instead of a destination. Just to bring up these two different points, I define both of them right here. Destination is the place to which something or someone or something is going or being sent, and a journey is an act of traveling from one place to another. So how do I feel that leadership is? I feel it's a journey, due to the fact that if it was a destination, once it was reached, you've already pretty much completed your goal. You've never accomplished anything while being a leader. You just got to the goal. That's why I feel a journey, because once you get onto it, that's just the start. You develop all the qualities that you'll use later in leadership, such as confidence, integrity, and passion. So that's why I feel that leadership is a journey rather than a destination. Also, how have I displayed commitment to the team, or band for that matter? Over the course of my 4 years here, I have sacrificed a lot, many hours in order for the betterment of the program. And here's just, I'm just going to list some of the things that I've helped out throughout the years, or participated in, or just done for the band program. Leadership camps, such as the leadership camp we have towards the beginning of every summer, the 3 to 4 day leadership camp we have for the band program. Band camps, band room cleanups. That was my freshman year for MPA. Band fundraisers such as the Honey fundraisers. A couple years ago, I went out and tried to get some sponsors for Prism. Concert band camp, 4 County Honor Band, which I participated in all 3 years of high school, including 8th grade, but that's not high school. And District Solo Ensemble, which I performed all 3 years in high school. And this brings me to the last point. Some areas where we can improve as a band, a section, just anything that'll help for the band betterment, and how can I help improve them. So basically, I feel the main 3 points are behavior, patience, and motivation. So basically, behavior, I'm gonna help crack down some of the behavior, especially in the trumpet section, by not tolerating any activities that can be harmful / distracting to the group. This could include horseplay, cursing, anything that's out of the tolerated behavior that if they wouldn't do it in front of the directors, they wouldn't do it in front of me. So this includes my own section, as I state right there. Also, the next one is motivation. How do I help improve motivation? So I was thinking about this, and how do you improve motivation? To improve motivation, you have to make the band section want to do stuff. So showing them there's a definite purpose to why we're doing what we're doing, like reminding them how it feels to win a competition, or how it feels after you finish. This one really popped out at me. How it feels after you finished a show on Friday night or Saturday after a comp, and you feel you did everything right. That feeling has appeared to me numerous times, and that rush of dopamine is definitely motivating, for lack of a better term. And the final one that I've listed is patience. How to improve patience. This definitely shows during the second week of, as I state right here, just got ahead of myself, second week band camp, improving patience by reminding people that everything's part of the process, and even the more tiring parts, like going over drill, you have to help improve patience. Second week of band camp is definitely huge on this, because all the drill we're learning, and for some of the times where we're stopping for a section for them to learn their drill, then that patience runs slow, especially during the season. Tuesday and Thursday night rehearsals, where we've learned all the drill, and we're just going over it and going over it and going over it just for muscle memory. I know definitely my patience was tested last season, but I could keep it under control. But let's say somebody like a freshman who's never been in a marching band before, their patience definitely ran out, and that's where some of the problems last year began with the trumpet section, is that their patience ran out. So they decided to entertain themselves by talking to each other and stuff like that, which I'll definitely crack down on next year. And that brings me to the end of my slideshow. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Jones, Mr. Goldstein, Mr. Mosier, for watching, and I'd like to also thank you for considering my application for leadership.